Welcome to The Explainer. So, what if I told you that your life, exactly 5 years from right now, is actually being decided today? And no, it's not being decided by your biggest goals or your wildest dreams. It's being decided by the tiny, seemingly insignificant actions you repeat every single day. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden architecture behind atomic habits. We're going to explore how one tiny habit, literally just one push-up, reading one page, sitting for 1 minute, is secretly the absolute most powerful force in your entire life.
Really think about that for a second, because, we've kind of all been sold a lie. We're constantly told that success comes from these huge, dramatic, life-changing moments. A massive business move, a sudden stroke of absolute genius, or that big New Year's resolution that's supposed to miraculously change everything overnight. But let's be real, we usually abandon those by February, right? The reality is just completely different. Success is rarely the result of one dramatic moment. It's the result of thousands of invisible, everyday choices. Every single day, you're either building your future or you're slowly chipping away at it.
Section 1. Systems instead of goals. Okay, let's really dive into this. If you've ever felt super frustrated because you set this massive goal and then just completely failed to reach it, believe me, you are not alone. It's time to completely shatter the illusion that the goal itself is the key to getting what you want. Think about it. Everyone has goals. The people who succeed and the people who fail usually have the exact same ones. A goal is just an outcome. It's saying, I want to lose weight. But a system is a lifestyle. It's saying, I walk every morning. Goals set your direction, sure, which is great, but systems actually create the progress. When you focus only on the goal, you basically just stop the second you lose motivation. But a system keeps working for you, even on those days when you want to do absolutely nothing. I want you to just let this quote sink in for a minute. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Man, that is the absolute core truth of behavior change. You can dream as big as you possibly want, but your daily habits, those are the safety net you're inevitably gonna fall back on. If your daily system is broken, those massive goals are literally never gonna happen. Section 2, True Identity Transformation. Now, here is where the real magic happens. Most people try to change their actions, when what they actually need to change is their identity. It's this massive, fundamental shift in psychology. Instead of saying something like, I wanna write a book, which just feels like this heavy external chore, you have to shift your internal narrative to, I am a writer. Instead of saying, I'm trying to quit smoking, you just say, I'm not a smoker. See the difference? When you focus on the outcome, you're constantly fighting yourself. But when you adopt the new identity, the behavior just becomes a natural extension of who you already are. You don't have to force a runner to run, that's just what runners do.
And that actually brings us to this brilliant analogy. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Every single time you sit down to write, you're casting a vote for the identity of a writer. Every time you choose a healthy meal, boom, you cast a vote for the identity of a healthy person. You don't need a unanimous election to win, right? You just need a majority of the votes. So you really have to ask yourself, what kind of future identity are your daily actions currently voting for?
Section 3, the 4-step habit loop. So the really crucial point here is that if our habits are shaping our identity, we need to know exactly how they actually form. And it turns out, every single habit you have is built on this hidden 4-step cycle. First up is the cue, like your phone buzzes on the table. Next is the craving. You feel that sudden surge of curiosity about who just messaged you. Third is the response. You actually pick up the phone and open it. And finally, the reward. You read the message and get that little hit of satisfaction. Cue, craving, response, reward. You repeat this loop enough times and it becomes completely automatic. Master this loop, and honestly, you master your entire life.
Section 4. Environment defeats willpower.
Now this part challenges basically everything we've ever been taught about discipline. Listen closely. Environment defeats willpower every single time. Highly successful people don't magically have some superhuman, unbelievable amount of self-control. No way. They just build better environments. Think about it. In a bad environment, junk food is just sitting right there on the kitchen counter, staring you down, and all your distracting apps are right on your home screen. You're just burning through your willpower all day long trying to resist them. In a good environment, healthy food is what's actually visible, and your workout clothes are already laid out on the floor the night before. Don't rely on your discipline. Just design your world so doing the right thing is incredibly easy and doing the wrong thing is practically impossible.
Section 5. The 2-minute rule.
All right, I want to give you a highly tactical, completely foolproof tool right now to help you overcome the friction of starting any new behavior. And yes, the magic number is 2 minutes. The rule basically states that whenever you start a new habit, it absolutely must be scaled down to take less than 2 minutes to complete. See, we usually fail because we start way too big. We say stuff like, I'm gonna run 5 miles today, when we literally haven't even jogged in a year. It's just way too much friction. The 2-minute rule scales the action down so drastically that you would honestly feel silly saying no to it.
You want to start reading? Okay, your goal is to read exactly 1 page. You want to get fit? Do exactly 1 push-up. Want to meditate? Just sit quietly for 1 single minute. Now, you might be laughing, thinking to yourself, okay, doing 1 push-up isn't exactly going to make me fit. But remember, the goal right now is not greatness. The goal is consistency. You have to firmly establish the habit before you can even think about optimizing it. These tiny actions create the initial momentum. That momentum forges the habit, and that habit ultimately forges your new identity.
Section 6, the ultimate compound effect. All right, we're moving into the final phase of this explainer, and it's all about the awe-inspiring power of the ultimate compound effect. To really understand what happens when you commit to getting just 1% better every day, we have to look at the plateau of latent potential. Imagine you're sitting in a freezing cold room, and you're staring at an ice cube on the table. It's 28 degrees. It heats up to 29, nothing happens. 30, 31, still just a solid block of ice. Then it hits exactly 32 degrees, and suddenly it begins to melt. That 1 degree shift seemingly created this massive change, right? But it was actually all that invisible, frustrating work from 28 to 31 degrees that actually made it possible. Your early efforts aren't wasted at all. They are simply being stored up. And this is the exact reality of compounding habits. On day 1, your progress is totally invisible. By day 30, okay, you've built a tiny little bit of momentum. By year 1, you are seeing significant compounding. Like reading 1 page a day has suddenly turned into reading dozens of entire books. And by year 5, you have a completely transformed destiny. The absolute greatest achievements in life are usually completely invisible while they're actually being built. They just compound quietly in the background, exactly like money in a bank account or a tiny little seed slowly growing into this massive forest. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. You do not become successful because of one giant, sudden decision. You become successful because of thousands of tiny, ordinary, everyday decisions. Every habit is a vote. Every single day is a choice. The future version of you is being created right now, literally in this very moment, one tiny 2-minute choice at a time. So, what identity are your actions voting for today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you guys next time.